All right, I'm cooking up, and I came across this video not too long ago, so I'm gonna let bro cook. I haven't listened to it yet.
Thompson, Dyson Daniels, they find ways to bring some awesome stuff to the basketball floor, especially what they can do defensively. Some of those guys attack the offensive glass to get you some extra possessions, and they are valuable, and they all have helped their teams in some of these playoff games and throughout the regular season. And I'm fans of all three in certain aspects. But it's hard for me to watch these games and ignore the handicap that they put on their teams offensively. And so it's hard to build with. And I think for that, I am completely selling that and I'm out on that. I still remain a fan of the Thompson twins. I still remain a fan of Dyson Daniels. But when I put my GM hat on and I remove the fandom and I think about team construction and trying to win in the playoffs, some of these non-shooting guys, as valuable as they are defensively, it puts you in such a handicapped position. It forces you to have to play a Duncan Robinson who can't guard because he's the only shooter. It puts Cade in situations to where he has to shoot some tough shots because there's nobody else that can do anything with the basketball, and there's nobody to kick the ball out to. Ausar, Thompson, Dyson Daniels, they find ways to bring some awesome stuff to the
Okay, and the thing about basketball, and I don't fault this young guy here. Enjoy teed up. I'll enjoy teed up. I like the presentation. I like the opinion, but this is the opinion of the current NBA. Okay, this is the opinion of the current NBA. And when I say the current NBA opinion, it's just one side of the ball. It's all offense. It's all scoring, and that's it. Where, it's the elimination of slashers in the NBA. It's the elimination of guys that can really attack the bucket and really be grinders. They made it really a 5 at the arc type of NBA, and there's been plenty of guys throughout the NBA history who haven't been great shooters. I could just think as a Piston fan, Corliss Williamson was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? He could shoot just a little bit. He was phenomenal. Jerome Junkyard Dog. I mean, Gerald Wallace wasn't a great shooter, but he was a phenomenal slasher. And one of the reasons why is just to the point where these guys seem so ineffective, which they do need to shoot. I'm going to get to that point too, is because the NBA, it doesn't run offenses anymore. There were times where guys like him would run the baseline and get easy twos. Like these guys, they would slash and be able to finish at the rack and finish above the rim. They were able to get these guys within the offense, being able to crash the boards, being able to slash and get downhill. They will call off the ball picks. They will call actions and motions for freedom up to get easy buckets until you learn how to shoot the ball. Bruce Bowen, Ruben Patterson, even Tony Allen never really learned to shoot the ball, but he learned how to, they put him in situations where his momentum is carrying him to the basket. I knew I had to be a junkyard around the basket and get putbacks and stuff of that nature. Today's NBA, the offense are simplistic. I mean, I don't even say simplistic. If the offenses are the kids that get off the short bus. I can't say the R word. They're very, very remedial. To say a popular buzzword or safe buzzword, they're very remedial. They're very, very remedial. The offenses are very, very remedial. And that's because these guys haven't been learning through AAU ball. They don't go to college long enough to learn what it takes to be a pro's pro. It's been plenty of guys in the NBA who couldn't shoot outside of being the center position that found ways to be really good in the NBA and do other things. Rebound, steal, still get 10 to 15 points a night by hustling, by crashing the boards, by slashing. And these offenses just sit them in the corner, sit them on the wing, sit them at the top of the key, and they're watching when they should be moving, running the baseline, coming off the ball screen to catch it. They should be crashing the boards a lot more. So that becomes an issue when the system doesn't help cover the flaw up. Right. At one point, Tony Parker was one of the better, still a really good guard before he can really shoot the ball. He was very effective. At one point, LeBron couldn't shoot the ball, but, and he got to the finals and got exposed by the Spurs. All right. But he still made it to the finals, not being able to shoot the ball at that point in his career. There's other ways to do it, whether it's posting up, slashing, creating offenses with actions and motions to have these guys preoccupied. If you get these guys moving off the ball and slashing and plays getting them go downhill, I guarantee you it's going to open up a lot more for shooters. But in today's NBA, the offense is 1-on-5. 1-on-5. You might get a pick and roll. A pick and roll is not where we move. We got a lot of motions going. We moving the ball. You cutting. You don't see dudes coming off screens and catching shoots no more. You don't see guys coming off a pin downs, catch and shoot, or catch and attack off the pin down. You don't see any of the complexities of the NBA. And that's why when the NBA you look and say, well, in the 80s, they, a lot of years in the 80s, they averaged less than 2 3-pointers took in the year, sometimes almost one or less. They knew how to play basketball. And taking 3-pointers and waiting on the ref to bail you out, it's a bailout. So when you see 3-pointers bailing the league out, free throws bailing the league out, you see slam dunks not dunking like they used to slam dunk back in the day. All the NBA, the way they have constructed the NBA, Adam Silver and the powers that be, it's the equivalent of teachers curving the scale so the kids can pass the test. That's the equivalent. You're not really smart. You didn't really pass. We just curved it for y'all to pass. That's what they've done in the NBA. The reliance on the 3-point shot, the foul sliders being all up, it's allowed a lot of these guys to get a hall pass, to get a G pass. It really has. It's allowed them to get a G pass. So now you got to shoot. And eventually they should be able to shoot the ball respectfully. They should work on, a floater, a 10 to 15 jumper. They don't have to shoot the 3 to be effective, but it's more than basketball than just shooting the ball. It's not the end all be all. It's not the end all be all. Respectfully, it's not the end all be all. But the reason it seems so critical is because the offenses just have them standing in the corner. Nobody is moving, man. Nobody is cutting. They barely run out of bounds plays anymore. So we, like I said before, a lot of this is just based on the going back to the tutelage of these kids coming up. They actually playing pickup basketball in the AAU. They play pickup basketball. In college, you got to run plays because you can play a traditional zone. But this is one of the number one reasons why when they go in international play, they don't dominate like Michael Jordan and them dominated. They don't know how to play fundamental basketball. They don't know how to play basketball. They don't know how to play basketball no more, man. They shoot threes, and it's not teaching them anything. They're not teaching them anything, bro. They don't know how to run basic Princeton-style offense, basic plays. And if they ran more than the pick and roll and the 105 ISO ball, a lot of these guys would be so much better basketball players. You wouldn't need as 43s a game to average 110 or 100. We wouldn't need that. And this is why the game sucks so bad, because it's if you can't shoot, you can't be in. And it shouldn't be like that. But it is what it is. Chicago Detroit Pistons Talk playlist want to speak on this. And of course, you invested into Ausar Thompson. He's just too good. You hope that he figure out how to shoot the ball. If my personal preference would be develop a floater and work on his mid-range game, and then you stretch it out. That would be my personal opinion. But hey, what y'all think about what he had to say? I know some people won't agree with him. No problem here. Let it hear y'all in the comment section. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. That subscribe button is the bell icon button. You can find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram. Everything is out that link tree. Shout out to bro. Enjoyed the video, man. So really good video. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Peace.